Hello, welcome to my podcast. Today I'd like to talk about Teal Swan and how she manages or how she tries to change the mind of a suicidal person, if that is possible, right? So let's watch a little bit of a video. I've watched like half an hour, so it's just him explaining how he feels unseen, how he feel it's mind-blowing how people don't even see the extreme sadness he is in. At the same time, Teal Swan explains to him that she sees it, and there's a very nice moment where the people in the crowd say, I see it, I see it, I see it. So that's kind of fantastic. At least he's getting some acknowledgement of his suffering. Moreover, she also explains that actually being suicidal, it's the energy of Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ comes to give us freedom of choice, and the freedom to do good, the freedom to choose on your behalf and the behalf of others. So the fact that we even think about suicide, it may be a good thing. Let's just watch a little bit more of the video and then let's talk together.
They sort of let themselves go at a young age. So, and I feel bad for them because I feel like they're just going to come back in an even worse situation, have to deal with all this over again. They might off themselves again and then just keep doing it over and over. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's embracing that oneness that's hard for me right now. Embracing that is really, really hard.
That's because you shouldn't be embracing oneness. You should be going in the direction of relationships with people who can take you as part of themselves.
You mentioned with the last man a point about intimacy where you directly go into a traumatic situation from your life, or just in general a traumatic feeling in order to try to create connection with
Not
people.
just traumatic, it could be anything, but I'm just saying like something you wouldn't normally volunteer to someone you just met. I just chose that because it was a really provocative statement.
That has went disastrous for me, actually.
Why?
Well, in the LGBT community, especially for gay males, there's a high value placed on perfection.
There's a serious terror of intimacy.
Of course there is. Our fathers hate us.
Yes.
They hate everything about us. They hate everything that we came to be. And, to be truthful.
So he's gay. He's gay, which makes life much more difficult, I would imagine. Maybe that a lot of suffering comes from that.
Well, if I'm a reflection of my father, how can you hate something that's a part of you? So
Hating something that is part of you, it's very easy actually. It's not that much of a deal. People do it all the time with themselves. So parents can do that with their children pretty easily, I would say. The challenge is to take children or take yourself as a whole and accept it all as part of yourself, and that radical acceptance makes you and others much more happier.
So I end up finding a lot of people that
Much happier.
I guess dislike me because I must be weak for feeling like, oh my God, I came from such a terrible situation. I'm telling you about it. So I'm just dumping my problems on you.
Do you think that I would go into a cheerleader rally and dump that information in front of someone? There is such a thing as discernment.
Discernment.
Like, what I'm saying is, like, see, I wanted to make everyone aware of the fact that you're sitting in a room full of like-minded people right now. Mm-hmm. This is a good place to do what I just said. And being brave as I am, honestly, I would probably do it with whoever I ran into, whether they were on the plane or whatnot. But I would not go into a cheerleader rally and be like, I tried to commit suicide when I was little. They're going to be like, okay, super special for you, bye.
Yeah, that's actually what I've been doing, like the whole thing.
There's a saying, I hate this saying because one of my exes used to say it, but let's just be honest. Okay, so I have this ex, and one of his favorite things to say is, don't throw pearls before swine.
I need a little bit more meaning on that one, if you don't mind.
What's going to happen if you put a pearl in a mud slop with a pig?
They're not going to appreciate it at all.
Exactly. So why the hell did you do it in the first place, unless you wanted to get hurt?
I can't be that much better than everybody else. You did a video on humility, and that is very, very toxic. And it's just like at the same time, well, if I consider myself so much better than other people,
what does
or
that
special,
have to do with being better than anyone else?
Well, it's just like considering myself as a person in general is like considering myself better than other people.
No, everyone's personal truth is a pearl. Everyone's personal truth is a pearl. Do you see?
So am I supposed to just let all of them go? Just let them dissolve in a sea of hatred? Am I supposed to not help them in some way?
The people in your life?
Anyone.
Does it feel good to help them? Then yes. If it feels not so good to help them, then drop it.
So leave the family behind,
What happened to the video? Oh my god. I don't want to watch this like this. Oh, damn. This is a very interesting point. So many people feel like they have to sacrifice. They have to sacrifice to help. But actually helping should be something that makes you happy. That you find should not be all compromising from your part. You're not here to serve other people. In a way you are, if it makes you happy. But if you're serving other people without making yourself happy, then you're making yourself an unfavor, which is you are damaging yourself in order to help other people, but you're also someone. So then comes resentment and comes a lot of hatred because of that.
Friends behind.
You want me to be honest with you?
Yes, please.
Where your family is vibrationally, creating change within that family is not going to happen.
Exactly. Radical acceptance. I watched this YouTuber, she's Brittany Simon. She's like fantastic because she also has been suicidal for such a long time, but now she has found peace of mind, and this is what she talks about. She talks about peace of mind, a radical acceptance. And radical acceptance, it's this. People are what they are. Don't try to change them. Accept yourself, accept them, and find a way through this world where you can be fulfilled and happy without having all this resistance. I have to make my family perfect. I have to make everyone acceptive of me. I don't. I just have to find the people that will appreciate what I have to give. And also, like being an INFP, we see this a lot. Like we try so hard to fit in for so many years, and then we come to realize I don't have to fit in. The people that will enjoy my presence, I'm going to find them, or they will meet me, they will come my way, or even if I end up being alone, or I will always have one close friend or one close relationship where I can confide into. But so many times we try to change, and this resistance is what makes people sad, resentful. So acceptance, it's something that is undervalued so much. If you can accept everything that life has given you so far without the resistance, like just accepting and empathizing with people that they come from also a certain background, they have their own personality, their own soul, their own way of being, and you don't have to coincide. The resistance comes when we feel like we have to get along with certain people, which we don't. Of course, being respectful is something very important, but do you know what I mean? And this boy is still trying to be that perfect child to their parents, which is understandable since he was the golden child, like the most intelligent, the best student, and then it turns out he's gay, and now he's the black sheep. And this happens quite a lot. And people have to feel prepared. I think growing up is being the black sheep and just accepting that it's okay to be the black sheep. You're the black sheep in someone's eyes, not to the universe's eyes. And I don't like to use the word universe, but not in someone else's eyes, you know? People are going to actually love those traits, that black sheepness. Yes? And I'm talking like I'm very confident or acceptive of myself. I am now because I'm 30. I will be 30. But I think teenage years until you're 30, you go through a lot of doubt. And this male, of course, he's going through that. He's probably younger than me. But something that comes with age, and it's fantastic. I've been loving getting old because I feel even with time, I'll get more and more confident. I will get more and more acceptive of everyone, more and more real, more and more connected to my strengths, to my real essence. But I don't like to use these words because they look very they sound very But what we're talking about here is finding a way. You have to live this life. In the other day, I was very sad about something. I was a little bit depressed, and I was just like, I gotta live this life. So why is it worth being sad? And I really felt like it was hormonal things because my life is going on great. But so I was like, you gotta live this life, so you gotta make yourself happy somehow. You better get yourself happy. What is it worth being all this sad? You gotta live this life. You gotta wake up the next day and try to make something out of this life. So yeah. But this comes with age, you know? Like, this comes with maturity and just looking at your life through different perspectives. You can be Something that also very helped me recently was my perspective on perfection. And I think I've made a video on this about the perfection and learning how to fail and just be so accepting of those failures. But calling them failures, it's even like a discrimination to failures, because they're not failures, they're attempts. I find words very strong. So the words we use, we should use them very carefully, because they have energy. They have energy. So calling a failure to something is, I would say I'm very resistant to failure. And I would say I'm very perfectionist. Maybe because I don't know, through my childhood, I was only valued when I did things perfectly. And if I made a mistake, probably I would get bad feedback and not feel valued. So maybe that's what I fear. And so I come to realize that perfection is something we desire, is something we search for every day, and it's something that we struggle when we don't achieve it. At the same time, perfection is what makes us live. Like, desire it is the human condition to feel desire. And Teal Swan even says this. It's fantastic. Because we feel like, oh, my life is perfect when I will not feel any desire, or when I will not, when I will be completely at peace. It means that I have everything I need because I don't desire anything anymore. Which is not true, because desire is always within. Desire is part of the human condition. And just knowing that, or like perfection, I would like to have my house perfectly organized or perfectly clean and tidy. That pursuit in itself is what makes us want to live, is what makes us want to go the other day and clean more and clean more and clean more, even though it makes us frustrated when we don't achieve it. But perfection is like an ideal that if we actually would go and find it, we would have like an existential crisis, like, no, my life is just too perfect. I can't bear life anymore. I can't bear. So having these little imperfections, I wouldn't even call them imperfections, having these little desires that we want to actually achieve, like, I want to have my house one day, just for one day, completely perfectly organized and cleaned, and I would be at peace. This never happens. This desire is what makes me want to live. At the same time, it's what frustrates me. But do you see the duality? Something that frustrates me can also give me a reason to live. Yeah, this is my perspective. The fact that I don't have money, or that I don't have enough money, gives me enough reason to keep living. The fact that people, even these things, like people thinking about suicide, it gives us a purpose. Like, there is something to be solved, there is something to be talked about. Gives us purpose. Bad things in life are good for us.